Oh my god, guys, Super Nintendo World got a new trailer. It's freaking awesome. I want to talk about it. Let's go.
Wait, are you excited about this, Andre?
A little bit, Derek. So Universal Studios apparently just had a press conference basically in Japan where they gave us some new details on the land. Not a whole lot, but then immediately after they revealed this awesome looking new trailer. And while it doesn't show much of the land itself because it's still being constructed, this trailer is freaking amazing, I think. So raw reactions. What do you guys think? We're joined by Derek and Amy. Amy, let's start with you. What are you thinking about this so far?
I'm already trying to figure out when I can buy my tickets. I want to know when it's opening. I'm so hyped for this. The music alone got me into it. The colors, the wristband mystery thing. I want to know everything that does. It looks like it has several different designs. I'm just so excited about this. I want to see the rides too. Oh my gosh.
We actually got a little glimpse of the Mario Kart ride in this trailer. Again, it's not 1-to-1, of course, but we saw like a CG version of it. So I actually missed it the first time. And I'm like, oh crap, Mario Kart's here. Derek, what do you think?
You missed that. That's when the Koopalings were.
Yeah.
No, this really is a great trailer. It gets people hyped. The idea of being in the Mario world is absolutely an appealing one. And I like how it actually, if you didn't know what you were getting into, this is a complete fake out of a trailer because it starts out with everybody playing Switches. So you think it'd just be a normal Switch trailer, and nope, it gets into this and just everybody fighting piranha enemies, doing dance numbers. It really kind of reminds me of the initial Switch trailer that they put out there that had the Imagine Dragons song. It's another team up with a pop star, getting all that out there, mixed with a little bit of Jump Up Superstar too, with all the dancing and Mario stuff. But it's really effective. It shows how bright and colorful everything is. It takes in elements. I didn't actually expect to see the Koopalings in there. I expected the usual amount, but having Toadette hang out with Peach, having Kamek in there, so many deep cuts for the Mario lore. How it's all going. It really is just a love letter for the series, and hopefully shows the potential of this world.
Yeah, I think you're totally right on how they did the fake out thing, and as part of that, what I like too is how she literally falls into a warp pipe and ends up in Super Nintendo World, and that evidently is going to be the entrance into Super Nintendo World. You walk through a warp pipe, and that's how you appear into the land, which really is a perfect way to enter, isn't it?
Yes,
really?
I love that. That's going to be perfect because anytime they have that sort of entrance where you're shielded for a little bit and then it just opens up, it's really magical. Just like in Harry Potter World, when you go into Diagon Alley, that's going to be amazing. I'm really excited about that.
Right, exactly. So, before we get too deep into this, one of the quotes that came out of the press conference in Japan was the Universal Studios of Japan's marketing director, who said, "If Disney is the dream world, the Universal Studios Japan is the wake world, where we will energize you and make you feel alive." And this is, of course, in reference to Super Nintendo World. And I think that is such an interesting quote. For one, shots fired. Take that, Disney.
Yeah, seriously.
For two, you can see that energy already being showcased in this trailer. If this, obviously, again, this is a CG trailer, so we don't fully know how much is going to be represented in the full land. I mean, obviously, we're not going to see Goombas, flying around without anything holding them up or something. As amazing as that would be, I do think this trailer just hint at something in that this may be the most kinetic focused land we've seen, with just a lot of things moving around. We see mushrooms bouncing up and down in the environment. Again, we don't know for sure if that's how they'll appear in the land itself, but I would not be surprised if we see a lot of movement happening, which will be some next level stuff, I think, considering that most lands are pretty static. There's not a whole lot going on in them, even at Disney or Universal, beyond some ride vehicles. There's not a whole lot of movement happening, and this may be the exception.
That'd be really cool to see. Animatronics moving around and maybe Mario platforming above, and you can kind of see multiple Marios, and kind of gives you the idea of progression. As you walk, Mario is going through the level and taking out enemies or having new challenges or what have you. That'd be really cool. Having these sort of things set up where you can see more enemies around Bowser's castle. There's a lot they could really do with it. I want to keep it out of the reach of people because they will want to mess with it, but it's still the concept has a lot of potential.
And one thing too, actually, is that I just said that you won't see flying Goombas. That actually might be a lie, Derek. I lied to all of you. Because going by one of the early reports, And we've seen images of this too. There are apparently going to be like these binoculars you can look into in the like 3D, like they had binoculars like in 3D land. You'll have these two in this world, and when you look through them, it creates like an AR overlay where you do see all the stuff happening in the world, going by reports, like including enemies jumping around. And I think I think Universal's finding, like, I think they're really kind of blurring, like what's real and what's virtual here. And I love that they're going the distance with Nintendo. It seems like it seems like Disney and Nintendo are in an arms race right now with with Harry Potter. Then we had Avatar, and now we have Star Wars Land, and now it's going back to Universal trying to top Disney with Nintendo, and they may just pull it off based on what we're seeing here.
I mean, kids love Star Wars, but this is bright and colorful.
Modern day kids love Nintendo so much more than they love Star Wars.
Okay.
Maybe. Probably so. It's super accessible for anyone, though. And I agree with you. The AR, I was going to say that I think the smartphone app is going to have that, too, so that you could have that with you anywhere. And you could point it at different objects and interact in that kind of way. Kind of like the 3DS tried to do,
right.
But to a much bigger scale here. I'm so excited about this.
And as part of all of that too, they also announced that they're going to have an app for Super Nintendo World specifically, in which we saw like there's a world map which you can see like where the rides and stuff are. You'll be able to interact with the park through the app, as well as these wristbands you can wear that'll allow you to grab coins and compete with other people in the land. And this actually reminds me a lot of the early talk we heard of Star Wars Land, and none of that came to fruition. So it sounds like Universal's doing what the 10 don't, or sorry, what this don't, what I screwed up, what Disney don't,
This don't.
This don't.
I mean, they're trying to diss Disney.
Yeah, and I love that. Like, that's such. I mean, games, multiplayer games are often about competing, and this seems like a fun way of tying into a theme park experience. And I really just want to see like how exactly do go earn coins in this world. Like maybe you can like use those AR goggles to find secrets and stuff, and that adds coins to your virtual app, which lets you maybe interact with things elsewhere in the land. Like maybe you can invest coins somewhere, and that causes something to happen.
Yeah, I'm thinking it also might tell you what lines are shorter, so you can head that way, and maybe even when you're in line, there's something interactive you can do to gain points and coins that way. That way the people who are waiting in line have something to do, and they feel like they're keeping up with the competition. They don't feel like they're missing out or anything. Oh, there's so many possibilities.
I'm just waiting to see a ton of people just randomly reaching up in the air to hit blocks. Like, it's just like everybody's doing that motion as they go through Super Nintendo World, which will be hilarious. But it'd also be cool if you can use that wristband to, like, throw a fire flower as they showed in the trailer, or something to that degree. There's a lot of possibilities here that just makes exploring the world itself really interesting, which I think is a good idea, considering there's only going to be 2 actual rides in the park when it first opens.
In Japan, that's right. There'll only be 2 key attractions, being the Mario Kart ride and then the Yoshi ride. Whereas at Orlando, there will be a 3rd Donkey Kong ride. But that's not for years down the road. So
yeah, that'll be a while.
So it's not so much Super Nintendo World as it's Super Mario World right now. But you know what? Based on what I'm saying, I'm okay with that at the moment. And as I said earlier, we do actually see a glimpse, or a sort of glimpse at the Mario Kart attraction. And one thing that it's doing that seems kind of cool, well, a couple things about this. One, we can see that if this is accurate, it seems each cart will hold 4 people, and according to early reports, and as we can see here, you can power slide in this car, and it seems you'll have some control over it. We don't fully know to what degree you will yet. But on top of this too, one thing they're doing that's kind of cool here is, based on early rumors, we know that you'll be going through multiple tracks in the ride, and I haven't been reading too much about it, I don't want to spoil it for myself, but what I do like that they're doing here, and again, I don't know for sure how indicative this is in the final experience, is it looks like, at least how it begins, is a continuation of Super Nintendo World itself. We can still see like Peach's Castle in the background, and it looks like you're racing around Super Nintendo World itself, which could be the case for the actual ride before it transitions into other of the Mario Kart tracks.
I think that's a great idea. I really do think they're going to do that. It's like it's set up for it so perfectly. Oh. Do you think they're going to interact it with Mario Kart Tour?
I hope
the
not.
Mobile game.
They better not. No, Mario Kart Tour will only tarnish the magic.
You can transfer the
having
coins over to Mario Tour, Kart Tour.
I'm feeling a little worried about that though. But another thing I wonder if the wristband will do is like a passport type thing where you go to different hotspots around the area and maybe like add stamps to your collection or something to make sure you get to the whole area of the park. You know, something that kind of encourages you to explore and go to all the nooks and crannies.
That's a great point because we actually see stamps. We actually see stamps in some of the app images, so we know they'll be there. So maybe that's how you unlock them, as you go around and explore. So, you know what?
Yeah.
If Miiverse had to die so we can get these stamps in Super Nintendo World, I guess that's okay.
Yep.
I thought it was very interesting that during it, they specifically show a P-switch and a ton of coins, and we know you're all about collecting those coins. Wouldn't that be something if one of the secrets is like somebody finding a P-switch, activating it, and then they're all around for everybody to collect and to get that sort of community aspect to it?
Yeah.
Like, the only worry I have is like, boy, that would be chaotic.
Yeah, just everyone running into each other. I am really curious to see like to what degree they'll merge like the virtual world and the real world, right? Like how much interaction there really is, because it based on the trailer looks like there's gonna be a ton. But again, it's hard to tell exactly how much of what we're seeing here will actually appear in the land itself. But I am excited because one of my favorite shows as a kid was Nick Arcade. Where kids like compete in video game challenges, and the final challenge is where the kids actually appeared in the video game, and that always blew my mind as a kid because I mean the way they did it was just like through blue screen, but it looks so amazing, and I'm hoping if Super Nintendo World like lets me live that kid dream to some degree, I'll be so happy.
Well, for you, it wouldn't be as fun as the watcher, I feel like.
Yeah, actually, that's true. It probably wouldn't be. Although I guess we do know that, based again on rumors, that the Mario Kart ride will be using AR goggles. So maybe there'll be other instances in which you can use AR beyond just the binoculars and the ride itself. Maybe they'll find other uses. Or maybe, I guess they could even use the AR mode in your phone. Maybe have the app offer an AR option.
That's what I'm thinking they're going to do.
Man, there's so many things. Although, I'll be honest, one of the things I'm most curious about what they're going to do, food. I want to see what the kind of food they're cooking up for this place. Because we got the butterbeer for Harry Potter Land. What kind of food are we eating here? We saw Yoshi chomping down on those fruits. What are we getting?
Yeah, hopefully they go all out with a theming, like some kind of Kirby Cafe type theming. That would be amazing.
I want Yoshi eggs. I could just destroy the Yoshi population single-handedly.
Oh, gosh.
I'm sure they're delicious.
What about toads? Toad cupcakes.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man. No, I'm just, I mean, the thing is, like, we haven't actually learned a whole lot of new stuff here, but I feel like this kind of, like, fills us in on what Universal's aiming for. Like, we're seeing, like, a sense of energy and just, like, a sense of, like, what I get about this is like they get Mario. Like I think it seems like they understand it to the extent that we're even seeing like a little bit of the personality in the characters here. Like Bowser, like Bowser or Bowser Jr. in the air, in his little clown copter. We saw Toad and Peach in the castle. And that's one thing that really gets me excited too, is seeing these characters like brought to life, in these theme park attractions. I'm really curious to see to what extent they go. Like, will they just make like little quick cameos, or are we gonna have like Mario be like your guide for something? Like, how's Mario Kart gonna work? Is there gonna be someone like racing alongside you, kind of like directing you? Like, I'm really curious to see how they incorporate the characters into these rides.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. I always imagined that they would kind of pit two cars against each other, like two human-driven cars, and like this kind of perceived competition. So that's really interesting, thinking about the characters jumping in. Because I could definitely see Mario guiding you around the park on your phone app. Like, look true. Over here. Yeah. Check out the gift shop over here.
There's a sale.
Yeah, there's a sale going on. Hey, the line's really short in this one area.
Mario likes some money. Give me some.
Yeah. I like the coin.
Hand over your wallet.
Yeah. Hey, Yoshi's hungry. Go buy him some food.
Yeah. You could be the Yoshi in Mario RPG, so maybe there's precedent for that. So. Oh, I'm just really stoked for this, and I just need to find some way to get to Japan to visit this park ASAP. So,
yep, me too. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
I'm really crossing my fingers Nintendo sends invites to journalists.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's more of a Nintendo thing or Universal thing. I'm thinking it's more of a Universal thing, so that might complicate it a little bit. But
It does feel like Nintendo is a big part of this, though, because it seems like they've had their seal of approval, because they really did nail this. So
yeah, they definitely. I think Shigeru Miyamoto was heavily involved actually with the whole park direction.
And I think it's going to be a madhouse because we're going to have the Olympics around the same time. So there's going to be so many people coming to this.
It's going to be busy. Going to be busy.
Yep.
That's why we have to get a fire flower and just burn them all.
I mean, the great thing. The great thing about it is you can pay for your trip, go to Japan, go to Universal, go do the whole Mario thing, get your wristband, and then pay for that trip by selling that wristband on eBay.
That's true. I thought you were going to say it's a write-off, but no, I think that's way better. You're right.
Yeah. Well, write-off and that. I'm going to profit off this trip.
I want to keep it, though.
I really do love the wristbands, by the way, because for one, they're similar to the Disney Magic Bands they have, and Magic Bands just make everything better. But Disney hasn't really leaned too much into incorporating them into the actual experience beyond just making it more convenient. So I'm really curious to see to what extent Universal takes this to, how exactly they bring you into the experience itself. Plus, I just love the designs themselves, even the Daisy one. Okay, maybe not the Daisy one, but I like how each one even has like a little pair of eyes, like we've seen on so many other Mario objects, like trees and clouds and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they will be like a way to maybe secure a time slot, kind of like they do in Disney, like a fast pass situation. That way you can skip some of the wait. I'm not sure. Like kind of like they did for E3. Remember how we signed up for certain things?
Yeah, the play pass, right? Or whatever it was. I have a feeling they're going to have to, because Universal had like 8-hour lines for the new Harry Potter coaster when it opened, which is just absurd. And as part of the reaction to that, Disney for Star Wars Land actually didn't do that. They're like, no, we're going to have, or for the new Star Wars ride, they actually make it get into a boarding group in order to go on. And that's such a better option to deal with, even though it involves waking up really early. So I feel like Universal Japan will probably have to do something similar, because they won't be able to let everyone in this land at once. It's going to be absurd, just insanely busy.
Exactly. And with only 2 rides to funnel people into, it's going to be crazy.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
And whatever restaurants they have there are just going to be packed to the gills. So.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Yep. Well, any final thoughts, guys, you want to get out there before we wrap it up?
It's amazing how a trailer can make you so much more excited when you didn't, they didn't show that much new information. So that's the crazy thing, yet that trailer really did its job.
It does.
Yeah, it really did.
I mean, they just capture the magic of Nintendo in it, I feel like.
They even incorporated the song into the pop song. I don't know what it is. I didn't look it up. But they even got Mario's theme in there. That was so cool. This song, the whole thing just got me so hyped. I'm like, I'm ready to go. Tell me when it's opening. Come on.
Did you notice you can see Koopa Troopas dancing in the background?
That's beautiful.
I love that.
Oh, I'm stoked. I can't wait. Come on.
Me too. Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Eventually, the transition of Game Explained to a full theme park channel will be complete. So,
hey, I'm on board for that. That's awesome.
All right, Derek, anything else, or are you done?
I'm just ready to go. All right, just break into that Game Explained bank and let's do it.
All right. I hear ya.
Yeah.
And on that, I'll activate a P switch for you, Derek, and then you can go click.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
Beautiful.
Sweet.
All right, I think we're about done here. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and of course, stay tuned to Game Explained for hopefully tons more on Super Nintendo World and everything else Nintendo. We'll catch you later. Bye.